Hi, my name is Ryan Wick, and I'm here because I have a big passion for these small Bolex cameras that are very tactile and useful to be alongside the larger Arriflex cameras that we work with. Starting here with the anamorphic lenses, which are modern ones. So when you put anamorphic lenses on a Super 16 camera, you can achieve a very wide aspect ratio. And if you have a wide enough squeeze factor, you'll be able to achieve cinemascope, essentially. These have a squeeze factor of 1:33, which essentially gives you a 2:20 aspect ratio, which I think is plenty. So while we are using Kodak Vision 3 here, the stock is basically degraded stock that has been exposed to warm climate and storage for some amount of time, so we wouldn't consider this fresh stock. And when we do production, you would order it essentially the days before and send it off to the lab the very next day. But it gives, nevertheless, a very good indication of the qualities of these lenses and what we're looking at. Okay, so now we're in the vintage Switar lenses. In the first one here, we have a significant lens flare. We wanted to see what that does. We probably should have done this one more time to see where that vignetting on the side really comes off. But this is a pretty trusted lens or range of lenses. They work consistently. We've kept everything at the same aperture, 5.6. I believe this looks to be about a half a stop, maybe a full stop underexposed. These lenses that we're looking at here has the ability to mount on much simpler Bolexes, so you can essentially have these as a disposable crash cam if you mount it in a very sparse way. Not that we want to wreck cameras, but that is a possibility sometimes. Okay, we're up to 50 millimeter here. It's just a very good look, and these lenses are very impressive how they hold up. You just don't have the same lens controls as you do with a modern Cine lens. That's the downside of them. But if you are rigging something where you don't need that lens control, these are certainly good enough. And our on-screen actor here today is Michel, who is a partner in the company, but he also has a very charismatic personality that lends itself to the camera. And he does look to be comfortable as he's in shorts. It was a very hot day, and we'd been working for hours just to get this set up. And then we had a very short time to shoot this test. But he kind of does the job of setting the atmosphere that we generally want to see in the world that we film here. So now we moved into the Nikon NIKKOR manual lenses, which are essentially lenses off of 35 millimeter cameras. And these are interesting because you can achieve such a range of lenses, particularly as you go into the longer focal ranges. And we use these for long shots into the sunset, capturing the moon, silhouettes on the horizon. And it has a lot of possibilities. And it also comes with a very useful adapter. The standard Nikon F mount adapter, or from C mount to F mount, has a preview function where you can fully open the aperture with one click and preview to see all the light coming into the viewfinder or your screen, which is very useful without having to change the aperture. Highly recommend that lens coupling. The camera we're shooting on here is about half the size and certainly half the weight of an Arriflex, and it's an incredibly useful tool when you want to put a camera in places that requires a lot less rigging or putting it into small places. I suppose he's reading a very interesting book here. There was limited space in this room, so I think we had to move the camera back here to get a wide enough capture of Michel's face, which looks great on this lens. Then we have a couple of lenses at the end, basically glass that is not perfect, not up to spec, but we want to see them and how they look, because there are instances where you need a point of view shot from a character, or you need to create certain in-camera effects where these lenses can be very, very useful. On the zoom lens, there's a very useful one, but you see there's some vignetting at the bottom of the range, around 17 to 22 millimeters. There is slight vignetting. It's not made for Super 16, but anyhow, it's still a good lens. Also here we're shooting 10 frames per second. We're in Charlie Chaplin mode, basically, because I think we are at the very tail end of the film, and we just wanted to see a few more character lenses in here. Part of the magic of shooting on motion picture film are certainly the imperfections, and what you cannot fully control makes it onto the screen and becomes part of the fabric of what you're creating.